Yeah, right, in a PDF format. That'll make it a lot better. There's probably a way to get rid of this over here. I need to pull up my Twitch here. Okay. Yeah, my kids are watching Cars 2 and they got fingerprints all over it, so it froze. I don't need to do any of that. I just need this to give me more real estate here. I like it. I don't even know what that is. Do you have your Master Fett? Do you have your deck on like a website somewhere where I can take a look at it? Okay, let's see here. And everything's going to change really once you see the full extent of all the cards you have available to you, really. Okay. $22 resources for this kind of curve seems a little low right off the bat. Because you've got 5s and 6s in here, so you probably want to take that up to 24 and get rid of 2 just right before I even start doing anything. Taking a look at this. Also, you have 60 cards in here, but it's counting your champion, so we'll actually just go ahead and add a resource right now because it's not my deck. I guess I'll save this off. Hold on. Let's go ahead and copy this. And I will name it Master Fett Deck. Alright, so I'm going to go over to my decks now. Decks. And so far I haven't run up against any type of restrictions, which is nice with this website. Alright, so first things first, you actually can put, with this website, 61 cards in the deck and you're fine because your champion doesn't count towards your total deck count. So that's the first thing, so we're going to up this. And I don't think he shouldn't count in these costs either. So you got 0 cast cost cards somehow, somewhere. For Life Siphon is not going to do a lot for you, so I probably reduce those right off the bat because it only deals damage to target champion. So typically if I'm going to run this at all, I'll run like 1 as a late game to basically try to win the game outright by dealing like 12 damage or 10 damage when it is that you're when everyone's in top deck mode and you have lots of resources on the board. So that's probably the first thing. I would take this down. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to take that down to 1, which will give you some more space. Obligatory 4 murder because you're in blood, obviously. The necessary sacrifice, I guess, works with the Bone Warrior. The thing is, with necessary sacrifice, you have to have some sort of expendable troops to use it effectively. Vampire King, okay. Terrible transfer because you're in mono blood. Terrible transfer is a lot better than Life Siphon. especially because you're mono blood, because like we just talked about, it's going to allow you to actually deal damage to troops. And it's going to be about the same as using Life Siphon anyways, and you're going to gain health. So, and it's a quick action. Now it does cost 5, but I mean, you could easily take that up by 1, possibly. You don't have any type of board reset, I'm noticing. So that's probably one thing I would add to this, is I would add a sweep, like 2 sweeps at least. 2 of the Extinction. Extinction recently went from 5 down to 4, as I understand it. So that's really, really a big deal, considering that this game in general is running about, like I said, a turn slower. Well, however, we're starting to see a lot faster cards now, and so it may be on par with the speed of Magic. Rotcaster is going to do what? Destroy target opponent troop with 3 or less. Yeah, that's pretty solid card for a 5-drop, I guess. I mean, it's a 3/2 body. I mean, it's going to give you that card advantage, so it gives you a body. Yeah. Alright, Claw of the Mountain God. Start the turn, deals 2 damage to you. So this guy feels more like he belongs in some sort of Claw of the Mountain Gods. Feels like he belongs more in like some sort of orc aggro deck. If you're going, I mean, are you going more control-y? I mean, I guess he's okay. I mean, he's pretty good. He's still a 5/4 for 3, so that's pretty good. And you can sacrifice him with a lot of different effects if you can't deal with taking damage. I suppose that's pretty good. Gain 1/0. So you gain a temporary resource by sacrificing troops. And that seems okay, I guess. I think it's actually loading up the cards, is what it looks like. Counter, return to hand, remove, ability, effect. So that's kind of interesting that it's doing that. Usually when you design something, the client is going to load up. Yeah, so if you've got all these sack effects, you're probably going to need to take your Bone Warriors up by 2, or by up to 4, max those guys out. But usually you design a client where it is that you have the whole client ready to go, and then the cards would be an update to the client. So, but because this is the only thing for this game, they just rolled it all into one. But future clients will probably have something more along the lines of that you'll see, where you'll start it up and it'll update like that. So we're definitely gonna, with all the sack effects in here, we need to have something we can sack and it not be that detrimental. So we'll take the Bone Warrior up to 2, up to 4. And this guy dies. Target opposing champion may pay 5 health. If they don't, search your deck for another one and put it into your hand. So you can sack him and make your opponent pay 5 health. Most of the time, I'm not going to. I'll just let you I'll let you deck thin. That's fine. And he's a 3/1 for 2, which is pretty efficient. This feels more like aggro, I guess. The way more I'm looking at it, this feels like some sort of what do they call that? Oh, it was like zombie aggro, or it used to be vampire aggro. Zombie plague is the start your turn at plague counter. Reveal a random troop from each opposing deck. For each plague counter, those troops get reverted to a zombie, put it in play under your control. Yeah, it's pretty solid. Zombie Plague's pretty solid for you, but this feels again like more of a control-y card where you want to kind of go more and more turns. So I don't really feel like Zombie Plague is going to be a great fit for this deck, because you, like, right now we've got Claw of the Mountain God, you've got Fang of the Mountain God. This just feels more aggro than it does more control right now. Especially what's gonna be nice is like Necessary Sacrifice, if that's your top end, is going to draw you some more cards and draw you some more threats. Life Siphon is probably just going to completely come out of this deck, actually. The Terrible Transfer is okay when you get the Murder. Terrible Transfer is really going to do a lot more for you than Life Siphon. We're just going to pull it. Especially when you're mono colored. 2 of those. This guy we talked about on our stream, yeah, this guy's really not going to do very much for you with aggro. I mean, there are better cards, and I mean, we're just going to pull him. He's not going to do a lot for you, especially when you're playing so aggro-y. This will allow you to stay at 23 resources decently comfortably. Let's look at where all your 5 drops are here. How many have we got? We got 4. 4 5 drops is okay. I'd probably like to take it down to 3 as if you're going to try to run this as an aggro. So your 5 drops are this Rotcaster and the Terrible Transfer. Actually, I think I like the Terrible Transfer better than the Rotcaster personally, so I'm going to take that down by 1. Let's see where we're at right now. So in the deck, we now are down to 55 cards. We have six slots to pump it back up to. So we're going to go ahead and start focusing a little bit more. His conversion is going to be nice because it'll get you those 5 drops if you need to, but it's not going to be amazing for you. And he stays in play. It's really more of a buff. You could probably actually get rid of it altogether. Claw of the Mountain God's going to go up to 4, obviously. Fang of the Mountain God's going to go up to 4. She's going to give you that nice low end down in here. Deal 2 damage and draw a card. Yep, draw more cards to deal more damage. Really, like we've talked about in other shows. Okay, weird. I thought this deck tried as much damage as fast, larger troops cheap. Right. Right. If you want Life Siphon to kill at the end, you need to have it as a 1 or a 2 of. Well, it's not a bad plan, but Life Siphon is nowhere near as good as Terrible Transfer for you. Because Terrible Transfer has the dual purpose of being able to remove creatures, and it does just as much damage as Life Siphon. The only thing that's nice about, the only difference is, like with Terrible Transfer, it wants you to play a monocolor, whereas Life Siphon wants you to play, you know, more than one color or some sort of ramp or something. Necessary Sacrifice, we might actually be able to take that up. We need to get some more stuff in the deck. Zombie Plague really, I mean, it's interesting, but it's not a body, and that's not going to help you out when you're trying to aggro. So we're probably going to end up pulling this guy. I'm going to take it down to 1 for now, but we'll probably end up pulling that. Like these are basically buffs; they are not bodies. So another thing is we just talked about Extinction. I'm looking at the sideboard now. Extinction. And that's going to be good in the counter matchup, so it's best to be in the counter aggro matchup. So it's best that it just sits on the sideboard as maybe a 2 of, I guess. You're not going to want it in your aggro deck. Blood Cauldron Ritualist is already better, so we're going to go ahead and throw those into the main deck. I'm going to go ahead and start pulling. You have to do this like carefully, otherwise they just go away and you have to go search them out again. Rotcaster. Okay, you put some more of those on the sideboard. We'll leave that there for now. There's another order if you get a Rage 1. Yeah, Throat Cutter probably needs to be main decked. It's a nice 3-drop for you. This is basically some sort of blood aggro with orc aggro is what it's looking right now. You get some nice one, draw a card. Atrophy's okay. I mean, it's not amazing. So, guess what card we're going to throw in here to help out with everything that you're trying to do with these sack effects? Most likely. We're going to probably throw in, we're going to find a way to play that bunny card so we can put those 0-1 bunnies in play, possibly. I mean, I'm going to look at it. We need to be able to buff the bunnies to make it good. So we're actually going to go, let's go over, do PvP. Actually, I need to just go over here. Let's say blood and no color. And then PvP. Actually, I need to go all cards for this. PvP, no color, blood. And we're probably going to want to mostly look at troops. So we're just going to keep it on troops for now. So there's a new guy. I haven't seen this zombie bird. It's too expensive for us. Wall of Corpses doesn't. It's not offensive. Wailing Banshee.